You say you had a few mind attacks.
Yeah, at the end of my
But
holiday.
yeah. But I want to tell you this, that when mind attacks come, you should regard them as really great opportunities
Yeah,
to check in something. Because, first of all, who or what is the mind attacking
yeah,
is very important,
yeah,
because the mind really can only attack the idea you have of yourself.
yeah,
It can only attack your person or your ego or self-image. It's all the same
yeah,
thing. It cannot attack the pure consciousness. It is just another phenomenon that come, the mind, the person, the world, all our feelings, is all coming inside the consciousness. But consciousness is not disturbed.
yeah,
It's like space. Space is here. However many things you plant in space, space doesn't move over for you to put the things in. The space is here. And yourself is the consciousness is like that. So when we have mind attacks, and so many people, if they speak about it, is because the mind is attacking who you think you are.
yeah,
Otherwise, you would not be upset. If the
yeah.
mind is attacking somebody else, you don't worry about it. But if the mind is attacking yourself, oh no, and what is the attack made of? The attacks generally are all about, they're personal.
Yeah, it was very personal,
Yeah.
but I knew at the same time that it's only because I'm holding this loyalty to a personal identity
Yeah.
that it's able to get me on these things. And so I was, in some ways, sometimes I was able to see that, but sometimes then again I kept getting caught up in it and identifying with it again. And But the strangest thing was sometimes even in the most strongest feelings of the attack, I could feel the sense of the sort of bliss of my own presence at the same time, not as a pendulum going in and out of it, like simultaneously at the same time.
Yes.
But then still again I would be
This is what is
caught up.
experienced by every sincere seeker of truth. You do come, once you have discovered that you're not merely the person,
Yeah.
but the greater consciousness in which the person appears and disappears. Once you know that, something changes inside your being. The sense of presence grows more strong. And that's why you can say that even in the strongest pulsation of the mind,
Yeah.
it was simultaneously there, the presence was there.
Yeah, that
But
was
somehow
the thing.
attention, it keeps jerking into the
That was
activity
it.
of the mind. But you must really, first thing I wanted to say today is that it's important to really be observing this with some detachment,
Yeah.
and don't identify with the person.
Yeah.
Why? Because the person and the noise around the person are observable. By this you should recognize that this is something phenomenal.
Yes.
This is something being watched. And that should begin to take the sting out, to remove the poison.
Yeah.
The poison is that when you strongly identify with something, you feel it much, much more profound, more heavy, more
Yeah.
strong. You see?
Yeah.
And you must, this is a very important part of your spiritual training, that you keep being reminded, but I'm observing this. Even when the mind is pulling and, you feel
Yeah.
very strongly identified, as you keep being reminded, I'm saying not just remembering, but being reminded, because the more you, let me say, affirm true experience, that wait, you're observing something, the distance between the activity and the observing presence is more
Further
open.
apart.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you begin to be reminded spontaneously from that awareness part,
Yeah.
somehow, that you are watching this. It will get stronger and stronger. And that needs to happen, because when it gets very, very mature, you'll find that the mind attacks will weaken and eventually they cease. Because that has to happen. As long as those attacks happen,
Yeah.
and they have a virility, they have a meaning, they have an impact. It indicates that the personal presence is still active,
Yeah.
because the person and the mind stuff, they go together.
Yeah.
When you observe, you're observing with some detachment, and in that detachment, in that place of detachment, you are more there. The presence is more there.
Yeah.
When you're aware of presence, when you're back in your presence,
Yeah.
then those effects of the mind will feel more distant. It's like you're coming out of a storm, or the
Yeah.
storm is passing, you see. But we're not doing because we want to escape from storm. We are using the storm to recognize your own natural stillness,
Yeah.
rather than stop suffering the storm. And you feel, oh, please, as long as you are identified with the one who is in the storm and all of this, as long as that keep happening, then you want to just stop the storm.
Yeah.
But I'm saying use the storm. When you use the storm, it means that you're using it to check in. Where's my true position? Am I the person, or that which is earlier than the person that observed the person? You see? So
Yeah.
that
That's very
that is
good.
really the crucial work that you must stay at.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this sense that people say, oh, but my mind, keep doing my mind. I said, no, you should not complain about the mind. You should use the mind to as a mirror to see where's your true place. You are the one. You are not. You are not the. You are looking. You're the one looking.
Yeah.
You're not the looked at.
Yeah.
In fact, yourself you cannot really see, because it's not a
Yeah.
form or a shape. You can
Yeah.
only be that, and you're already that. That's where you're looking from. And this is why all this kind of advice that I give and encouragement is to just confirm. You cannot create the self or improve it. You can only keep recognizing, but this is my true place. And it's always the place of the constant. It's always present. The person, it comes and goes. And the person's, troubles, they come and go. They come and go together. It's very important to stay with that. It is the mind itself that's complaining about the mind. When
Yeah.
we say, oh, I just want these stops and please take it away. I don't want to experience. This one who is saying that should not be trusted. That is also a part of the ego identity also.
I kind of almost knew that at the time, that I wasn't praying for it to be taken, but I was just really hoping to be able to put that distance between my true self and this identity that was seeming to be completely taking over the whole thing.
Yes.
So
Yes, that will grow,
yeah.
both in the sense of distancing at first, and in the distances. The distancing is related to the identity. The less identity, the more distance. Eventually, there won't even be a question of distance, because the self is not one place and the man is someplace else.
Yeah.
The self is everything. So the talk of distance and separation is in the early stages, when we still have the sense of ourselves as being an entity witnessing the mind. But we are actually watching from the pure formless spaciousness of awareness, and that will grow, get much, much more. But right now, the important thing to remember is that the one who is being attacked is our self-image. It's is the one with a lineage, the one who is I would say the reference for the self is our person and our body and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas awareness is beyond gender, it is beyond race, it's beyond all these things. It is formless, it's pure. Everything exists in it, but it is untouched by them at the same time. It gives life to them, but it's also beyond them. It's in them and it's beyond them.
Yeah.
Okay, good to talk to you today.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
So glad I saw you here.
Okay, darling. Okay.
Thank you.
See you soon, okay?
Thank you.
All right, okay.